are of course in Fortnite Chapter 6, and it's safe to say that a lot of people have found its new storyline pretty confusing. But trust me, it's not. The Chapter 6 storyline is actually rather simple, to be honest, with it being really interesting at the same time, and it actually ties into a lot of previous Fortnite events. So in this video, I am going to be fully explaining the Fortnite Chapter 6 storyline so far, because trust me, it's really not that complicated and you'll actually like it a lot. Now, to start things off, we need to head back to the Remix Finale live event, where after watching Juice WRLD, we woke up in the bridge to reunite with Hope and Jones, and Hope led us to the Chapter 6 island. However, following right behind us was a shard of the 0 point. After Chapter 4, the 0 point just blew up, leaving just very powerful shards of it scattering across the Omniverse, with one of these 0 point shards following us through the bridge and into Reality 783, which is where it then crashed onto the Fortnite Chapter 6 island of Oninoshima. Yes, for the first time, Epic are actually giving their islands official names, and the name of the Chapter 6 island is Oninoshima. Now, this Japanese-based island of Oninoshima actually holds a lot of history. You see, centuries ago, the island was home to two very important syndicates in Fortnite lore, the Fox Clan and the River Guard, and as we learnt in Chapter 4, they have always been rivals. But at one point, they were at full-out war and would battle constantly. And one day, the Fox Clan had enough. They wanted to destroy the crap out of the River Guard and take over the island for themselves. But the special thing is about the Fox Clan is that their powers come from their masks. And one day, the person who usually makes the masks for the Fox Clan decided to start adding demonic, evil magic inside of the masks that would of course make the masks extremely more powerful. But this was good for the Fox Clan. They can finally wipe out the River Guard using evil, powerful magic. At least, that's what they thought. The magic that was put into their masks was so powerful, it all started to get out of control. Just out of the blue, killing innocent people and damaging the island. It was all too far. And it all led into something called the Shattering War. A giant fight for magic and a fight against the Fox Clan. As with this magic, the Fox Clan was practically becoming demons, with them also influencing the use of magic too. But then one day, the Fox Clan was surrounded and they had no other choice but to just give up. With that, all the masks were destroyed and the people on the island had to get rid of the magic somehow. So they built gates, all leading to the Spirit Realm, which is a place where all evil spirits and demons lie. And that's where most of the remains of the evil magic was sent, and then after that, the Spirit Realm gates were closed. And ever since then, magic was banned on Oninoshima. Until now. The impact of the Zero Shard caused the old Spirit Realm gates to reawaken, with demons leaving the Spirit Realm to then step foot on the surface of Oninoshima. And as the Spirit Realm is linked once again with the island, magic is now back. It's reawakening, and everybody is starting to notice. Now, Hope is no longer known as Heroic Hope. She's now known as a Shadow Blade Hope with a new ninja style. And Jones is back to his usual vengeance self, not being Captain Jones anymore. But the main question is, why are Hope and Jones here? Like, why are they specifically on the Chapter 6 island? Well, she was actually called to the island by Pandora's box. She said this to her sister during Remix.
Yeah. I think it's time for me to go. With all of your connections, you probably know this already. But Pandora's box is a part of something bigger. I can't shake the sense that I'm a part of it too. I don't know where I'm going or when we'll see each other again.
So yeah, for some reason, Hope was guided to the island by the Oracle to fix important matters related to Pandora's box, and of course, Hope brought Jones with her. But yeah, as of now, Hope and Jones are actually looking for the 0-point shard that landed on the island. I came here searching for something, a strange and powerful artifact. Let's just say, it doesn't surprise me that this island's myths and ancient magics are waking up. So the Oracle, or Hope, saw a prophecy of the 0-point shard, and somehow the shard is the key to painting the bigger picture of Pandora's box. Now, when Hope landed on the island, she met this guy named Kendo, who is a resident and a samurai of Oninoshima. And when the two met, they instantly clicked, becoming very good friends. Kendo is also confused why all of the magic is starting to wake up on the island again, so he joins Hope in search for the 0-point shard. But when looking around, they came across one of the demons that came to the island by the Spirit Realm gate. And this demon's name was the Night Rose, and she was kind of like leading the new pack of demons. Well, at least that's what it seemed. Hope and Kendo then chased the Night Rose throughout Seaport City, and then across the whole island, until the Night Rose reached a Spirit Realm gate, and that's when a much larger demon came out. This big-ass demon being named Shogun X, and he is actually like the main alpha of the demons on the island. And this was our main introduction to the main villain of Fortnite Chapter 6, Season 1, Demon Hunters. But wait, I thought the Night Rose was the main villain of Chapter 6, Season 1. She wasn't very nice in the trailer. And well, this is actually because the Night Rose is being puppeteered by Shogun X. Yeah, she's being full-on controlled by the demon, I'm not even joking. The Night Rose actually used to be a normal girl who was very interested in demonic magic. However, one day, Shogun X approached her and completely took over her. And for centuries, the Night Rose has practically been puppeteered by Shogun X. Moving on, Kendo has lived on this island for practically the whole of his life, and he actually has 2 siblings. Kendo has a sister named Jade, who is very curious about the island's history and magic. However, she is also very reckless. More on that in just a bit though. The two also share an older brother named Daigo. And well, Daigo is an interesting one. Daigo is like that stick-to-himself older brother. He's a bit ominous and kinda creepy sometimes. He owns a mask shop in Masked Meadows called the Thousand Faces, which Daigo inherited from his grandfather. The interesting thing about this family of Kendo, Jade, and Daigo is that their ancestors are the ones that caused the Shattering War. Yes, I'm not even joking. Both of these 3 are related to the Magic Mask Maker for the Fox Clan, the one that started the Shattering War of demonic magic. Inside the Thousand Faces, there are quite a lot of masks, but there is one mask that is filled with demonic magic, and this is because it's from the Shattering War. But it's broken, however, still on display. Daigo looks up to his family's strong legacy with masks, causing him to become obsessed with them as well. Daigo likes to find, repair, and create masks. He's absolutely obsessed with them, and an obsession with masks isn't bad, right? Well, no, of course not, but in Daigo's case, he's also obsessed with the extremely magic and demonic ones. Hence why he has that Shattering War one on display. Daigo also has a workshop underneath Masked Meadows, and it's actually in the sewers. But this workshop means a lot to Daigo, as that's where he does all of his mask business. In the workshop, you can find tons of mask, books, and machinery. And this all helps Daigo to build and repair masks. Believe it or not, this workshop is actually a very crucial part of Fortnite Chapter 6, but more on that in just a a bit. A few weeks into Season 1, Jade goes missing inside of the spirit realm. Yes, and Kendo needs to find out what actually happened to her. And Kendo has his suspicions on Daigo, as he refuses to talk about it. When confronting Daigo, he states that Jade is cursed by the demons, and so he made her a mask to protect her. But at the same time, Jade was also investigating the influx of the demons from the spirit realm, and she was actually investigating the portal at Night Shift Forest, but then she accidentally slipped into the realm itself. Yeah, that is the case, and now Jade is stuck in there. And when looking into the portal, you can literally see her face. Now, this confused many on the island because it's always been said that only demons can enter the spirit realm. However, if you are wearing a mask that holds demonic magic energy, you could technically be classed as a demon and fall into the spirit realm. And well, Daigo did admit to giving Jade that mask, so it's kind of his fault that Jade is now trapped in the spirit realm. But Daigo thinks she'll be okay. He loves Jade to pieces. He would never hurt her, so he has to do something about this. Now, this is when we discover the secrets of Daigo, when us as loopers found his workshop under the order of Kendo. And in his workshop, we find tons of machinery, masks, and a picture of Daigo giving Jade the mask that she would soon fall into the spirit realm with. And all of this machinery and experiments with magic caused this purple gas to leak out of the sewers of Masked Meadows. Daigo was up to something pretty interesting here. Now, in Night Shift Forest, we find some ancient magic resonance, and this is when we find out that the 0 Point Shard is in the center of all of this new demonic magic. It's also when we find out that the demons are here on the island for the 0 Point Shard itself. And luckily for the demons, they actually locate the shard itself before Hope does, which they then take it to the spirit realm, leaving only energy of it at its crater. About a month later, Godzilla comes to the island, and so does Monarch, who helps the loopers take down Godzilla. Also, a large pickle factory gets built near Hopeful Heights. But at the same time of everything, Jade is still trapped in the spirit realm. Now, when the 0 Point Shard flew across Reality 783, splinters of it scattered across the Chapter 6 island. And we had to collect these splinters as Kendo believes that it could be the key to getting Jade back. Also, Hope makes us eliminate one of the demon guards, who then drops a demon map. And this map does reveal to Hope that the 0 Point Shard is currently in the spirit realm. So this annoys Hope, but at least she now knows where it is. Speaking of demons and spirit realm stuff, the Night Rose has actually been freed. Well, kind of. She's been restored to her inner self as we temporarily defeated the puppeteer boss. Remember that Shogun X is the one pulling the strings though. Now, this next thing I'm about to say is a really crucial part of Fortnite Chapter 6. Using the splinters of the 0 Shard, we craft 2 daggers, which would then be known as the Splinter Blades. And these are blades literally made out of 0 Point energy. We then give these Splinter Blades to the Night Rose, who the Night Rose says she'll give it to someone else. The Night Rose also believes that these blades could potentially free Jade, so she gives them to Daigo, in which Daigo is very grateful for this. Now, on the island near Warrior's Watch, there is this frozen spirit realm gate that is literally frozen in time. It hasn't been activated in many years. However, that's going to change soon, as Daigo is going to try and free Jade by this specific portal. In his workshop, Daigo has been working his cheeks off to make a mask out of magic that he could free Jade with. And unfortunately, to get this magic energy, well, well, Daigo needs to kill some of those sprites on the island. Which is quite sad, but if it's for Jade, it's worth it. Now, Daigo sits directly opposite this frozen spirit realm gate in a bubble. And using all of the masks in front of him, he is starting to activate this frozen spirit realm gate, with it slowly connecting with the spirit realm again by the day. At the same time, Hope is watching all of this, spying on Daigo right next to him. So yeah, something very interesting is about to unfold. And on the 15th of February 2025, our first Chapter 6 mini live event happens. In an epic showdown, Daigo defeats Shogun X using his splinter blades. And well, this successfully frees Jade, so yay, Daigo has done it. But for some reason, the Spirit Realm Gate is now gold, and gold bars are coming out of it. And this gold causes everyone on the island to become a bit greedy. Now Jade reveals that in the Spirit Realm, the demons tried to break her, but they failed. However, there was a dark presence in there, and it had the 0-point shard. Jade also said that this dark presence knew about her, Daigo, and her family's dark legacy. So this was rather interesting. Also, during this event, there was a split second where Daigo looked into the Spirit Realm itself. And that's when him too saw this darkness. This darkness only intrigued Daigo more. Oh, and I forgot, in Season 1 we were introduced to this big turtle who was destined to find his long-lost love. And after taking care of the turtle for a bit, the turtle then was reunited with his lost love. So this big-ass turtle did get his happy ending. Some time then passed on the island, and this whole entire new golden-tinted crime biome appeared on the island. And in the center of it all is a crime city. And this is when we were brought into Chapter 6, Season 2, Lawless, where there is nothing but absolute chaos everywhere on the island. Everyone is hijacking vans, stealing from vaults, and raiding banks. They are all greedy for gold. As you can see in the cinematic trailer for Season 2, there is literally an entire chase for it. But all of this greediness, it's there for a reason. Let me explain. The person who is like the mayor of this entire new crime area is a wolf named Fletcher Kane, also known as the Baron. Fletcher Kane is extremely rich and wealthy. He owns an operation company named Alpha, who are mostly known for mining gold. But Alpha is also Fletcher Kane's personal faction. Fletcher also lives in the Lone Wolf Lair, which is a giant mansion in the new crime area. Now, what's the deal with this guy? Like, why is he so important to Season 2? Well, you see, Crime City used to be known as Crimson City, and the whole surrounding area was known as Crimson, and people happily lived here. Until one day, Fletcher Kane was elected as mayor of this new area, and the first thing he did was bring all of his banks and other Alpha operations here. But the most important thing that Fletcher did was raise inflation on the entire crime area. And he actually raised the inflation and tax by a lot, and I mean a lot. Fletcher is a greedy ass guy, and all of this tax inflation made it very hard for people to live in the crime area, almost impossible. So the residents of Crime City revolted, all becoming outlaws. And to this day, they all steal from Fletcher Kane, and their overall goal is to take him down. But Fletcher is powerful because he can just raise tax whenever he likes. So he technically steals from the outlaws, and he also hires agents to physically do it for him. So yeah, it's like a war between Alpha and the outlaws. And apart from Fletcher Kane, literally everybody in the Season 2 Battle Pass is an outlaw, all working together to steal from Fletcher Kane. Now, Hope is not really an outlaw. She is still trying to locate the 0-point shard. Well, even though she knows where it is, she just needs to retrieve it now. And she is still working very closely with Kendo and Jones. Speaking of Jones, he has moved to Demon's Dojo, where he now discusses with the Night Rose. The Night Rose is also helping to retrieve the 0-point shard, but she feels that something darker is on its way, as the Night Rose feels very uneasy, but it's probably nothing. Also, after Shogun X was defeated, the Night Rose has been permanently freed. Jade has also moved from the Frozen Gate to this little hut near Masked Meadows, and she's just kind of laying low, you know. But yeah, Jade is extremely worried about her older brother, Daigo, as she knows that Daigo is now really intrigued by this darkness within the spirit realm, the one that has the 0-point shard and wants Daigo. Jade thinks that Daigo isn't strong enough to face this dark presence, as according to Jade, it will only take him. But do you think Daigo cares about what others think? Hell no. As of now, Daigo is laying very low in his workshop, so trying to think of something that he could face this darkness with. Daigo did also move the Shattering War Mask down with him. Daigo is actually an extremely crucial character of Season 2, probably the most crucial, but more on that in just a bit. Now, around the island, there are black markets, and these are the places where the outlaws lay low. One of these outlaws being an opossum named Skillet, and he is kind of like the alpha of the outlaws. Yeah, and he gets us to steal a lot of stuff from Fletcher Kane. But then we meet up with Valentina, who we have to protect whilst she's hacking into Fletcher Kane's safe in Outlaw's Oasis. Fletcher Kane is also a bit like Kato Thorne. He owns quite a few resorts, but he's mostly known for his mining and obsession with gold. gold. Like, literally, just to look at the crime biome, there are tints of gold everywhere, and this all comes from his mines. In Season 2, there is also this outlaw named Big Dill, who is a pickle, and he was born in the Kappa Kappa factory. Big Dill is also a rapper and a part of the Tasty Boys, alongside with the Brat. And he is mostly known for his song Run Amok that he sings during the Chapter 6 Season 2 cinematic trailer. Now, what does Fletcher Kane want? Well, he wants to get rid of the outlaws on the island. So basically, he wants full power, and he also wants to specifically eliminate Midas. A bit of history: before Fletcher Kane took over the crime area, he was actually very good friends with Midas. Until Midas ditched him and became an outlaw due to all of the crazy things that Fletcher was doing. And Fletcher took this as a betrayal from Midas, so he now fully targets him.
If any of you see Midas in the field, you know where to aim. I want those golden hands mounted on the walls of my study. We have a Midas sighting, sir. Then why are you talking and not shooting?
At the same time of all of this, we also help Cassidy Quinn steal one of Fletcher's favorite cars.
Sir, they took your car when we weren't looking, and retrieve my stolen vehicle, or I'll retrieve your worthless hides. There are outlaws in my home. What am I paying you for? Eliminate them!
So Fletcher is being driven crazy, and he is also the first person to receive voice lines in Fortnite Chapter 6. Well, Fletcher and his henchmen, of course. And Fletcher just keeps raising the bounty for Midas. He wants him down.
The bounty on Midas just went up tenfold. If you want to become wealthy beyond imagining, bring me the man with the golden hands. Alpha team's down. They need backup. Retrieve their masks and inform recruitment we have vacancies to fill.
Wait, what masks? Okay, so at one point, Fletcher and his Alpha team completely raided Daigo's shop and stole a bunch of masks from there, and as you know, these masks will obviously enhance the henchmen. So Fletcher doesn't want them wasted. Now, lately, Fletcher has been in touch with Daigo, who is again laying low in his workshop. Fletcher is actually paying Daigo a lot of gold, so a really powerful and strong magical mask can be made for him. And with this mask, Fletcher plans to wipe out the outlaws. But in order for Daigo to make Fletcher this mask, gold and machinery must be delivered to Daigo's workshop.
Alpha Team 3.0 is on the move. But, sir, what's the mission here? Daigo gets the gold he needs, and I get the power he promised. That's all you need to know. The machine's been installed in the workshop, sir. Finally, some good news. Daigo will be pleased. Petty superstition should keep the locals away from Daigo's workshop. But if curiosity gets the better of them, you know what to do.
As Daigo doesn't want anyone knowing that he's secretly working with Fletcher Kane. At least that's what Fletcher thinks. Now, with the help from Alpha, Daigo's workshop has been fully restored. And newsflash, Daigo will be repairing the Shattering War Mask and giving it to Fletcher Kane, with it already actually being repaired.
Tell me again, what does it look like? Well, it's a mask. And it glows. But not with light. Something more, sinister. Perfect.
It glows with demonic magic, and Fletcher actually thinks he's going to be getting this mask. But he's not. Daigo isn't stupid. He's not going to give the current villain on the island a much more powerful mask that could just wipe anyone out in an instant. No, Daigo wouldn't do something as stupid as that. Instead, Daigo will most likely betray Fletcher with him using the mask for himself. And it seems that Daigo will be using this mask against the Dark Presence.
We're proceeding to the portal phase shortly. It's all over. They have no idea.
Yeah, whatever you say, little bro Fletcher Kane. But yeah, the portal phase is the process of rebuilding a gate to the spirit realm. And Fletcher will also help Daigo with this as he wants the 0-point shard too. But Daigo is only rebuilding the gate as he wants to face the darkness of the spirit realm and find out what it truly wants and its plans with the 0-point shard. Speaking of the 0-point shard, Midas is also now working with Hope and Jones and the Nitros to retrieve the 0-point shard. Midas has had experience with this. He knows it's trouble and he can't let anyone else get it. So as the war for gold still goes on, the battle for the 0-point shard will soon take place. Daigo will also soon use Fletcher Kane to take care of us whilst he's doing his stuff. And that's exactly what Daigo does, as he is now slowly reconnecting the Magic Moss's Spirit Realm gate with the Spirit Realm itself, with Fletcher Kane beside him to make sure there is no interference. But if the Fletcher Kane boss does get eliminated, then Daigo just walks away. After some time, Daigo successfully connects the gate with the Spirit Realm, and as he is wearing his demon mask, he can just run in, only for this to then happen. In hopes of confronting this dark presence, Daigo gets turned into a full-on demon by this dark presence. This right here, by the way, is not the dark presence itself. It's just a puppeteered mask that the dark presence is using to completely wipe out Daigo's mind and transform him into a demon, who is now fully puppeteered by the dark presence. So Daigo is kind of getting Nitro's treatment here. But of course, this demon version of Daigo is much stronger than Prime Nitro's. He can also teleport now, which is what he does to sneak up on the Tasty Boys in his workshop. Now, whilst this was all going on, this moon-sized ship started to slowly but rapidly make its way towards the island, only for this moon-sized thing to be revealed as the Death Star. Yes, from Star Wars, and this brings us into Fortnite Chapter 6 Mini Season 1 Galactic Battle. Yeah, that's the official name of this season. It's not called, Season 3. Because Mini Season 1 Galactic Battle is only 1 month long, making it, of course, a mini season, a bit like Remix. And so the season after Mini Season 1 Galactic Battle is Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3. Okay, so the Death Star, which is mega giant, is now drawing closer to the Fortnite Chapter 6 island. And the person controlling the Death Star is Emperor Palpatine, Palpatine, who is also known as Darth Sidious. And he is in charge of the Galactic Empire, who are the main villains of Mini Season 1. And the Galactic Empire own the Death Star. Now, why did Emperor Palpatine bring the Death Star and the Galactic Empire to the Chapter 6 island? Well, because Emperor Palpatine wants power. In the cinematic trailer, Emperor Palpatine stares at a hologram of the Death Star levitating above the Chapter 6 island, but the Death Star is aligning with Lone Wolf Lair. And the line is green, which is meant to represent the Death Star's giant green laser. And this means that the Death Star is targeting Lone Wolf Lair. But like, why Lone Wolf Lair? Well, underneath Lone Wolf Lair is this mystical glowing face statue, which used to be underneath Lost Lake. And this glowing face is actually referred as the heart of the Chapter 6 island. So, of course, it's going to be very powerful, and that's why Palpatine wants it. And this heart probably also has something to do with the 0 point shard as well. Sorry, I mean 0 point shards. As it has now been confirmed that there is more than one 0 point shard circulating around the Chapter 6 reality. And of course, the Dark Presence holds one of them in the Spirit Realm. Now, Mini Season 1 is split into 5 parts. The first part being Imperial Takeover, which is where the Galactic Battle begins. The Galactic Empire are sent to conquer the Chapter 6 island, starting off with Captain Phasma, who leads the army of First Order Stormtroopers, who are scattered around in bases across the island. But Captain Phasma herself lays low at the First Order base, which replaced Demon's Dojo. On the other side of the island is Samurai Darth Vader, who is technically now a Shogun. And of course, he took over Shogun Solitude. So yeah, this entire island has practically been taken over by the Galactic Empire, with even giant star destroyers above the island. And all of this is under the orders of Emperor Palpatine. Now, the group against the Empire are the Rebels, who lay low at the Resistance base ran by Poe Dameron, who is a professional pilot. But the main leader of this protagonist faction is Leia. However, the Rebels, they are really outgunned. They are really worried that they will lose this galactic battle. And this is due to them being such a small matter of resistance. But behind the scenes of everything, Emperor Palpatine is watching, analyzing every step made within this galactic battle on the island. General Grievous is also on the island as well, who is of course trying to collect lightsabers, not really taking part in the galactic battle. Now, you're probably wondering what happened to the cast of Season 2 Lawless. Well, after Daigo ditched Fletcher Kane to of course become a Demon Daigo, Fletcher Kane was left very outgunned, and that's when he was humbled by the Outlaws. We don't know if Fletcher Kane died or escaped, however though, he got defeated, meaning that the Outlaws won, and after they found this out, they low-key blew up every single bank belonging to Fletcher Kane. Do the Outlaws play a part in Galactic Battle? No, they don't play a single part at all. However, our iconic duo Hope and Jones very well do, becoming rebels against the Galactic Empire alongside with practically every other looper on the island. Now we move on to part 2 of this galactic battle, which is named The Pull of the Force, where the Sith Lord Darth Maul appears on the island, as well as the Jedi Master Mace Windu also comes to the island to help the rebels. Chewbacca also comes to the island to help us with this galactic battle as well. Part 3 of Galactic Battle is Mandalorian Rising, which of course focuses on the Mandalorians on the island who actually took over Hopeful Heights and replaced it with their outpost Enclave. And the Mandalorians are actually supporting the Resistance assistance in this galactic battle because the Empire betrayed them. So the Mandalorian's assistance, of course, helps the rebels a lot. Now, whilst this is all going on, the destroyed Spirit Realm gate that Daigo originally used to free Jade is now being rebuilt at the Fletcher Cane Mountain, which is the mountain that originally crushed this gate. But that's not the point. Who is rebuilding this Spirit Realm gate? Well, Demon Daigo is, who is lurking within the shadows of the crime area and the Spirit Realm. As again said, this guy can now teleport. He doesn't need a Spirit Realm portal to enter the Spirit Realm and back. But then why is this guy rebuilding the Spirit Realm gate? Well, it's so that Demon Daigo can bring an army of demons to the island. Whilst this galactic battle has been going on, Demon Daigo has been working with a new demon variant of Core to form a whole new giant army of demons so they can sabotage the island. But all of this is of course under the control of the Dark Presence. And this new giant demon war led by Demon Daigo will in fact be the main theme of Chapter 6, Season 3. Part 4 of the galactic battle, Star Destroyer Bombardment, is quite a brutal part, as full-on Star Destroyers are now being sent to the island to just wreck it. And this is where everything takes a step closer to Emperor Palpatine's final plan. He is currently charging up the Death Star's giant green laser so it can strike on Lone Wolf Lair when ready. And this all brings us into the final part of the galactic battle, Death Star Sabotage. An unlikely band of heroes posing as TIE fighter pilots and their captured X-Wing counterparts have a plan to infiltrate the Death Star. Only if they can disable the battle station's critical defense systems can the final attack run begin. But the mission will not be easy. All in either an X-Wing or a TIE fighter, Hope guides us into the Death Star itself. And from there, we must disguise as either a stormtrooper or the stormtrooper's prisoner, so we can calmly walk past all of the other stormtroopers working on the Death Star. As remember, our goal is to sabotage it by destroying all of the Death Star's defense systems. And this is so the Blue Squadron, who are currently surrounding the Death Star, can get a perfect shot on the defenseless Death Star, hoping this would lead to its destruction. But yeah, we just slowly walk through the Death Star, all being very calm. We can hear Blue Leader, who is currently trying to fight off some of the Death Star's defense, and so far everything seems to be going smooth. We come across the first defense system that we need to sabotage, these blue generators. Hope instructs us to destroy these, and that's exactly what we do. Moving on, the blue team seem to be making a lot of progress, and after quite a bit of walking, we come across Hope, who is currently disguised as a stormtrooper, and she starts guiding us from now on. And that's when we also bump into Jones, also disguised as a stormtrooper, and he is with Fishstick, who is quite idiotic and uses a rift to go in space. So yeah. Moving on, Hope and Jones are going in separate directions, although we still follow Hope. And for the next few bits, we gotta make sure we are armed, so we pick up some guns. We continue following Hope until we come across the power for the Death Star's guns. And using our guns, we sabotage it, so that's another defense system down, making things a hell of a lot easier for the Blue Squadron outside of things. After this, we reunite with Jones once again, who is now following us, and we end up in this pretty large room where Jones locates the main control panels for the Death Star, and then loosens the Death Star's protective panels, and that's when we see Fishstick floating in space, and we do also see the galactic battle from outside. We then destroy some more defense systems, which caused more of the Death Star's guns to stop firing, and this really helped out the Blue Squadron. And that is the third defense system of the Death Star down. And now, with the Death Star having barely any defense, the Blue Squadron are ready for their attack run. But then Jones gets confronted by two stormtroopers, and after a failed attempt to brainwash, we have now been spotted. That causes the Death Star's alarm to go off. Everyone now knows that we are intruders. So we have to run, and we follow Hope. But whilst doing this, stormtroopers come out to try and attack us. So we just have to run past hordes of stormtroopers. Whilst on the outside of everything, the Blue Squadron are on the verge of beginning the attack. After tons of even more running, we are screwed when we come across an incomplete bridge. So we are kind of screwed, but after some hot wiring from Jones, the bridge extends and we continue running, trying to find an escape from the Death Star, but we just come across even larger hordes of stormtroopers. But after a TIE fighter literally crashes into us, we then fall deeper into the Death Star. So we are pretty cooked, especially Hope, who is still stuck up there. So now we have to follow Jones, which is where we end up in this dark red room. Then after hearing a sinister laughter, this plays.
I was right.
Transpired has done so according to my design.
And that's where the main villain behind Galactic Battle, Emperor Palpatine, rises, with his red lightsaber in hand. And he then attacks us with his lightning powers, which are very strong and do weaken us a lot. But that's when Hope finds her way back to us, with a rift to go, and she throws this rift to go at Palpatine's lightning, which triggers the rift to go and rifts us back to the Chapter 6 island of Oninoshima, just in time for the Blue Squadron's attack. And as it now has no defense, the Death Star is very cooked. So the Blue Squadron's attack does cause the Death Star to full-on explode. However, a bit of debris from the destroyed Death Star lands directly on the Spirit Realm portal, causing it to literally explode and react with a spire. And this was not good, as it marked the beginning of a new threat, bringing us into Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3 Super. At first, we all thought the Chapter 6 island was on an island, but we were very wrong about that, as the live event and Season 3 confirmed that it is actually inside of a reality bubble, a lot like Reality Zero, meaning that there is a flip side to Oninoshima, so this was insane news. Now, straight after the Death Star exploded, Superman rifted straight outside of the Chapter 6 reality, so he went to go check it out. Also, when a piece of the Death Star hit, a giant purple shockwave was created, and it practically wiped out everybody on the island, as for some reason this shockwave gave most people on the island superpowers. There was also a battle bus in the sky, with some loopers inside, and this shockwave caused the battle bus to crash, currently falling down from the sky, but Superman got to the island on time and saved this bus. So Superman saved the day, but due to this shockwave, the just saved people on the bus all gained their own type of superpower. Overall, this shockwave changed many people on the island, including us. And this was very fortunate. Not just because a superpower is cool, but because a new empire of demons from the spirit realm were now attacking the island. And this moment was always destined to come, because Galactic Battle had been leading up to it. On the island was now the Mask Maker, the main villain of Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3. And he came to the island with his demon army, but he also arrived along with demon spires and monoliths, which were built to destroy this island's energy, and that's what they do to Masked Meadows. Absolutely demolishing it and turning it into Demon's Domain, a huge temple, which belongs to the new demons on the island, and of course to the Mask Maker himself, as that is the demon's new base. But all of this was directed by the dark presence inside of the spirit realm. But the main threat of this season is the Mask Maker, who is actually Daigo. But it's the corrupted demon form of him that we saw in Lawless, as the dark presence is now practically puppeteering Daigo, but he is now known as the Mask Maker. And due to this puppeteering, the Mask Maker is really strong. Now, the lieutenant of this new demon army on the island is actually Core from Chapter 2 Season 8. But it is a new variant of her known as Mercenary Core. And unlike the Mask Maker, she is not a demon. She actually bound herself to the dark presence, with then the Mask Maker building Core a new mask, making her stronger than ever. Alongside with this, we have the Demon Spires, which are not good. They are practically the demon's main weapon, as again said, they destroy this island's energy. And at first, you can really tell that they are doing their job. So, yeah, the island is very cooked. But we are not hopeless, and this is due to the new superpowers. Now, when seeing this, Hope realized that she cannot fight this on her own. And just to mention, this shockwave did not give Hope any superpowers. The same goes to Jones and Midas, and pretty much every other character from Season 1 and 2. But back to Hope. How was she going to deal with this? Well, her and Jones had an idea to open a superhero academy for the loopers with the new superpowers, so they can be trained to fight off these demons. And thanks to funding from Midas, this superhero academy was now a thing, replacing the POI of magic mosses. A Utopia city was also built for these new superheroes as well, and that replaced Seaport City. Now, this new superhero academy was obviously a school, and the heads of this academy were of course Hope and Jones, each with their very own office. Jones's academy office is practically the exact same as his Imagined Order office. The Night Rose was the academy's main teacher, teaching all of the superheroes combat and tactics. Also, the academy had Fishfic as the gym teacher, Joss as the chemistry teacher, Peely as the flight teacher, and Robin and Superman also volunteered as teachers for the academy as well, alongside with also fighting for this academy too. So yeah, this superhero academy was going well, and Hope actually decided to name it Supernova Academy. Now, just a school is not good enough to defeat these demons, so Hope put together a new superhero team named the Supernovas, and they will of course represent the Supernova Academy. And the new Supernovas are the heroes that were on that very battle bus. So that's Light Rider, a superhero with res energy superpowers, who surfs on pure res energy, Kill Switch, which the best with guns, and he is the Academy's tracker and hunter. He is also the most smartest when it comes to tactical battles. Haley Sky, the cheerleader for the Supernova Academy who turns into a storm beast. Morgan Mist, a goth chick with dark shadow powers. Synthwave, who was listening to music when the shockwave happened, causing her to gain superpowers of pure beats. And Ziggy, who was actually a snapshot of Jones, who had a chameleon on him when this shockwave happened, and that's how he turned into this, Ziggy. And his only superpowers are sleep. But yeah, these are the main fighters for the Supernova Academy, known as the Supernovas. And because they are the most important, they have their own rooms in the Academy building. Superman and Robin are also kind of part of this team as well. Now, what happened to the Spirit Realm portal at Crime City itself? Well, it just vanished in this season. But there are hordes of dark clouds above containing dark magic that lead to Demon's Domain. Now, Season 3 introduced us to Island Stories, which are lore quests that focus on specific characters. At first, Kendo believes that Daigo intentionally became this demon mask maker, but he does eventually realize that some dark force is controlling him, of course the Dark Presence. Hope's plan is to defeat these spires, save Daigo, find a way into the spirit realm, and confront the Dark Presence there. This will help Hope retrieve the 0 Point Shard. Also, although it wasn't Daigo's intention, Kendo will never forgive him for this. Daigo's sister, Jade, is also very upset about the mask maker. But because it was the sprites that supported Jade when she was stuck in the spirit realm, she sends us to check up on the current sprites on the island. And that's when she learns about the new Season 3 Super Sprite. Now, Morgan Mist grows a bit suspicious of the Supernova Academy. So as her shadow variant, she does a bit of investigating and she gets us to help. And after gathering a lot of clues, she discovers the actual purpose for the portal at Utopia City. Well, I forgot to mention that the 0 Point Vault is back in Season 3, no joke. And a portal in Utopia City is connected to it. And when bringing a sprite near the portal, Midas comes out of the vault, who compliments Morgan's spying skills and says that the 0 Point Vault will be used to store the 0 Point Shard when we get our hands on it. But to do that, we need to confront the Dark Presence. And in Season 3, it's been confirmed that the Dark Presence is currently working with the Storm King. Yes, the last reality beast. And this confirms that the spirit realm is now connected to the last reality. But it seems that this was somewhat always the case, as the spires seem to be powered by cubes. The mask maker isn't just attacking the Battle Royale island with the spires, he is also attacking the Lego reality with them. But yeah, then Hope admits to using Midas to fund this superhero academy, which could be a little bit of a risky decision, but honestly, Charlie Wen seems to be making Midas more of a main character. At the beginning, the Supernova team didn't really get that along, but after many battles, they're getting along okay, and they're a good team. They are doing great at representing the Supernova Academy. But yeah, in the meantime, Midas asks the outlaw Skillet to do some investigating, in which he does a horrible job. But Midas does realize that most of the Supernovas don't really trust him. Speaking of the Supernovas, there is actually a second team that contains the superheroes of Knight, Reboot Man, Jewel, Diamond, and champion Crystal, but no one really cares about this second supernova team, honestly. But either way though, things can't stay well forever. Because at some point this season, the Mask Maker proceeds to lock the hell in. Not only has he got a new glowing variant, but he plays a major attack on the Supernova Academy, sending spires to destroy the energy of the area and his demon army to ransack the POI and cause lots of chaos. And unfortunately, the Supernovas lost this fight, and they had also lost the Supernova Academy building, because although the building itself is still standing, it's very vulnerable and was left abandoned. When hearing about this, Hope was nothing but hella pissed off, saying that she now does not care about freeing Daigo. She wants this Mask Maker dead. Because if you don't know, there is still a little bit of Daigo left inside of the Mask Maker. But the Dark Presence brainwashed him too much. This man is now very powerful and has practically no control. The Mask Maker is also starting to attack the island itself with demon monoliths, which are like 10 times worse than the spires. And I think you can see why. Now, all hope may be gone for the Superhero Academy building, but for the Supernovas themselves, yeah, they're still a thing, and they are all angry and upset. Even after the fact that Jones literally graduated them. Honestly, the Supernova Academy meant a lot to them, and they will make the Mask Maker pay. Because nobody is playing games anymore. The Supernovas are our only hope, and all of the anger inside of them could lead to our victory. Hope and Jones elected Morgan Mist as the leader of the Supernovas. And although she is a great pick and team worker, she's afraid that she's not good enough. But this is not leader behavior here. She has to provide hope for the rest of her team. And that's exactly what she does by sharing mementos for each specific supernova. And it is honestly quite a sweet moment. Can I just say, for some reason, Morgan Mist is the only person at the Supernova Academy building right now, but she's like underground. But yeah, the Supernova Academy building still means a lot to everybody on the island. And to tribute it, we carved the Supernova Academy logo using spire pieces. So that was honestly very wholesome. Also, these new demon monoliths literally ruined the crime biome in a single update by taking away all of its golden water. It is now just a normal river. These spires honestly took the golden effect away in general. The Mask Maker and his army have done a lot, but messing with the Supernova Academy was their greatest mistake. As nobody is holding back now, the Supernovas are very angry, and soon they will attempt to absolutely destroy the Mask Maker and all of the other demons and spires on the island. Because again said, it has reached a limit and nobody is playing games anymore. And due to everything, this time, Hope doesn't care if she ends up not freeing Daigo. But at the end of the day, it is all the Dark Presence's fault. Right now, underneath Demon's Domain, there is also this portal, which is most likely our build-up into next season, which is Chapter 6, Season 4, and is going to be a bug invasion-themed season. If you want to go check out my video about that, the link is down in the description below. Also, if you're wondering what happened to all of the Star Wars POIs, well, yeah, after Death Star sabotage, they were all left abandoned. But yeah, this video is actually scheduled to drop whilst I'm on a week-long vacation. So if like any mini live event leaks come through, well, I'm sorry that I didn't mention them in this video. But a video will be made about them straight when I get back from my vacation. Either way, guys, thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more storyline content like this. And why not join my Fortnite Discord server? The link is down in the description below.